Welcome back, everyone. Zeus was having some internet issues, but thankfully he is back. So it didn't have to take too long of a break, as we're going to get into map 2, which is Dust 2. Lots of 2s here. And you're watching the CEVO MLG Pro League Season 7. I'm Helium, with me, Launders. What's going on?
Hey. Hey, that was a really good first map. Obviously, it ended up that NIP took it in the first OT there. Actually, Guardian starting out this round, though.
Quick pick
Really
up
sharp
mid.
headshot. Yeah, he does take some damage. Trading 19 for 100. I'll take that trade any day. And two people making noise up a cat, but they might want to just get out mid here. I don't know if they have a smoke to throw, and it looks like they do, so they're going to split a mid to B. And oh, Edward takes one down right away.
The pop flash hit Freiburg in the back as he's jumping off a cat, so they went out, you know, without having forced the CT player to move back a little bit. Well, actually, it doesn't work out at all. Now trying to get into the B site. CEVO will grab one from the corner, and Zeus will finish it out, taking off Get Right. So 3 members survive, and Navi will win the first round.
Yeah, so they were doing that very loose. One smoke, didn't have a smoke for mid door to work around mid and go up cat, and that's how they initially got punished by Guardian, who was double peeking mid with Zeus and got a PTK headshot right off the bat. And then once they worked up cat, you know, they just made a little bit of noise, but ultimately they were trying to split B relatively quickly because they didn't have many nades. And again, yeah, throwing a bad flash out mid meant that they couldn't get that entry too easily.
Forrest looked like he was about to just charge through that smoke. It's exactly what he does. Going to be greeted by Seized, and the trade will happen. Freiburg brings it in with the P250. Edward here with Famas trying to control B. Sees the bomb fly by, so I think he's going to realize it's crossed, but knows it's maybe a little too risky to go in by himself to try to stop the plant. Risk giving up that Famas, and now Zeus is going to try to move in with the MP7. He's coming in window. Will they do the box boost over there where Edward is? Try to get that Xbox player out.
The one issue for them right now is Freiburg is actually flanking, so he knows tunnels is clear, and he's going to have all their backs turned to him. He can actually get kills if he wants to, and he does go for one right now. He's in a 1v2, though. Oh, and he goes down, so the retake is successful. Has
to battle that MP7 close range, you know, just moving around real quick. Really hard to bring those players down with the P250, so submachine guns will prevail on this round. Navi, well, they let the bomb go down, but at least they will still get that second one. And still NIP, I don't think they're in a position enough where they're going to want to buy with Galil's here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about our player. Was it Edward outside the site, or was it Zeus? I think it was. I felt like it was Zeus, but I might be wrong. No, I guess it was Edward outside the site, actually.
Yeah, it was Edward
giving it up to go mid and trade, and then left the site wide open for the mid to B split to be successful. But it ended up making sense when it came down to the retake and the 2v1 that it ended up being.
So we'll see just actually all upgraded pistols across the way. There's the Deagle on Freiburg down. So 2 P50s, 3 P250s, and a Tech 9 remain.
He's with the pretty fresh whiteout here, pushing into lower tunnels. Might go to town here on these players. Who are, he tries to transfer his spray up to Alu, but doesn't find the kill. The trade is real.
They were also distracted with Edward, too. He was shooting at them from middle with that A1S. Might be able to get Alu if he re-peeks. But look at Get Right. Doing what he does. Get him behind the opposition. But Edward coming back over just in time. We'll take him down.
Just as aware. And Alu is stuck here on Cat. Wants to find a kill if possible, Zeus. Not going to let it happen. And now they'll go into the first buy round of the match. NIP can use this round to get their feet on the ground. And then we'll kick it off right away with an op. I like that they didn't buy that second round. It gives them this option.
Yeah, so they get the economy real strong. We saw Alu start doing some pretty crazy things there on Mirage when we got into overtime. The opping was pretty good between both teams, but not like super flashy in regulation of Mirage. But when it got to OT, that nice 4K from Alu, he really turned it up. And we'll see if he can maybe carry it over here to get themselves on the board. The smoke off mid, spam through, trying to, you know, get some control of the map here. And start to move up cap. But actually, Navi, it looks like they boosted up into a quick NOA, and I think it paid off over there. I didn't quite tell who was on top, but Edward and Guardian with the stack in mid. Also,
you could just say Navi was on top.
There you go. They definitely were on top of those trades, leaving Get Right and Alu with a pretty difficult job here. Oh, even with the flash, Guardian partial blind still takes out Get Right instantly. And now Alu with his op. Guardian is playing really close, and that is not expected, so Guardian hits that shot, holding those angles like a boss.
Yeah, well played. Yeah, he ate that flash. I mean, it was light after image flash, but it could have been enough to make you miss for sure. Get right knew what he was doing or what he was walking into when he came up cat, and still got punished for it. So now that means NIP off to a rocky start. Not similar to what we saw in the first map. This time we'll be looking at a 5-0 scoreline before their next bye.
Yeah, it's not got off to a great start here. Do have some flashes, Tech9. Freiburg and Get Right with armor. Alu, though, already going to be op down by Guardian. He continues just getting those op kills. Like Zeus. Zeus, a lot of times, I guess maybe he gets in a position where he's either poor or he'll drop his teammate a rifle, because we've seen him with MP7s kind of in some later rounds quite often.
Mm-hmm. And two are out long. It's gonna be hard for them to make a move. Exist can put himself in a headshot spot. Whoa, Guardian finds it. What a shot in the pit there.
Yeah, took some damage at first. Now Forrest with 4 HP. Oh, the nade! Oh.
Thought they were gonna gauntlet the rifle and see you could hit the headshot.
Nah, they're gonna take the coward's way out, throw a nade in. They probably knew he was low.
So you said,
much to run away with.
You said Navi went for the triple op on Dust 2?
Yeah, they did. The last time they faced off. It was on T side, though, where they went for the triple op.
Oh, they must have picked it up.
So right now they've got 2 with Edward, and when they did run the triple op, it was Seized that had picked it up. They did it for like 3 or 4 rounds until they lost with it.
Wow.
Quite greedy, but I mean, it can work.
Guardian took a jump on cat at
Forrest.
Wow, it's a pixel perfect aim, takes 2 heads off, and oh my goodness, that's another kill.
Off a third. Edward gets Alu in the shin, is what it looked like at least. And they hear the spam at B, so they know at least one is there. They just got some picks out towards middle and on cat. So maybe expecting 1 in A, but it is completely clear. So the bomb to go down, and we do have a player, Get Right. Who else? Lurking around there in lower B. Might catch both of these guys if they're not careful. Seized is going to check it, but will he check wide enough? Did check it, but still got beat out on the aim battle. Edward finds him with the 5-7. Will be able to pick up a rifle. He's got a 3K on the round. Can he make it 5?
He's running right for
1v3 clutch and an ace. Is it possible? He does have a kit. Time is getting low. It's planted for the pit as well. He's going to smoke it up, but that smoke, I think, bounced too far over. Let's see if he can do this. And Forrest will just move up real close and take him out. 3rd headshot of the round for Forrest.
Yeah. A couple of really nice frags on the cat. Guardian actually, I think, jumped by accident there, or just wanted to spot lower for a moment and got punished for it immediately. So NIP do put a round on the board, and it was a very convincing one. Signs of faith are there for NIP, who this round have all the money they need for the guns they want, obviously. A couple rebuys were forced. That bomb plant was a nice buffer for them. But Navi are now in a similar position where if they lose this round, they might be on a saves themselves.
Yeah, really not a whole lot of money in the tank as they give up that last round. So see what they can do. They got 5 AKs here. Alu didn't have enough for the op, and also Get Right and Alu both completely without grenades, although Navi doesn't really have all that many either, or have already deposited some early on the map. Freiburg, though, with another headshot onto the catwalk, takes down Flamey. So now we do only have Guardian actually at A plat. The other player there is Zeus, but he's coming up from long.
Yeah, and this is what's so great about having a weakness at A, or only having one person. Guardian, it looks to trade, only finds one, gets put in a really bad spot, and the split is too strong. So it's at this moment Zeus has to decide what he wants to do. Most likely will look to save, but a player spotted him. And that decreases his chances by saving by quite a bit, but Forrest goes down.
Yeah, I'll step out and take down Forrest. We can see there on the map 2 players coming in. One going to go up Dark Alley, Suicide, whatever you want to call it. Get Right coming from long, and Freiburg. He's really getting pushed at all 3 areas, but he did a pretty good job of getting 2 little 1v1s in there. So he got 2 kills, but unfortunately we saw how poor Navi were, and the fact that he can't save a gun is going to be pretty rough. Should allow NIP to get a 3rd round up.
Yeah. For sure, they should be able to. And I guess we saw something similar in the first map, except for the pistol going the way of Navi. When NIP were able to win a pistol 2 rounds, Navi went up 5 rounds, and then NIP won the rest of them. So if something similar were to happen, you might think they lose their way somewhere throughout their CD path.
Flamey, mad respect using the unsilenced USP.
Hey.
Doesn't work out, unfortunately. Runs out of bullets before hitting the headshot. Guardian picks it up. Goes back to the P2K instead. And I can't get right has, like, absolutely put on a clinic the last 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm. He's farming up. Full buy. This time, no ops. And with the A setup, the issue is that when you have 5 rifles on Dust 2, if a team decides to split A, like they go for long control, then if your one guy at long dies, then your players on plat are a really bad spot. They're almost forced to retake by playing pushed up on cat. And so this is why, okay, we have a team fighting for early long control. They get the man advantage. This makes the A split less of a possibility. They can leave a player at long and fall off to 2-1-2 if they wanted to.
Ball toss and flashes coming out B. Those C's tries to duck into the corner because he was full blind, but Exist will get him. Freiburg finds a kill there on Edward as well. So even though they were a man down and they gave up that long control, I mean, Get Right being the person you killed maybe could have alerted you. Although he's just been doing so much killing over towards the A site, maybe hard to read into that. But of course, NIP go B and have the advantage.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. Obviously, they had so much success at A last round that Navi responded by playing 3 long at the beginning to take control of it. And once they had seen a player there, got that frag, they immediately assumed that they were onto something, and that just allowed NIP to have a good opportunity to go into B. But they were still going up against 2 players, so it was some lack of defense there from Navi in the site.
All right, Flamey in the pit. All those players, they sure had the long control that round, Navi. They started it off there, and they just finished it there trying to hold on and keep all those guns as soon as the bomb went down in B. Not wanting to save again. They wanted a real shot here in round 10.
Yeah, suddenly Navi weak on all fronts. The A split, they were completely prone to a B hit with 4 players versus 2 in the site, and they got 2 entries for free. That should never happen as a CT defending. So they have to be worried about this. And now we see NIP throwing stuff into B to feed into the fear that it might be a split out. And so far we have 2 out mid already. Exist gets an amazing headshot into the door.
He's brought down to 3 HP. And actually is brought down completely now. 4-on-4. Sees though in the back of the site. The wall bang him through the box. Not really even fully committing to the check. Just spraying it down, and they find a Seized. And once more, Navi posting up a camp here in the long room. Maybe to T-spawn. But, I mean, definitely opting to save.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, we, you know, it might seem predictable, go long or split A mid to late round, go B early next round, and then go mid to B on the round to follow. It might seem predictable, that being the only lane open that you haven't gone to in the last 2 rounds, but it ended up working out beautifully, especially throwing stuff into B to make it seem like a fake, and then sending the players out mid knowing that they play 2 inside B.
That was a cool little flash there by Guardian, and I'm surprised he was willing to risk it again, another peek. Almost rewarded with another kill, but neither of them find it there. So NIP tied up there 5-5. The last 2 rounds, they've more or less exploded out onto B. That time they pinched it, I guess, sending 3 through the tunnels and 2 out mid.
This is rough. I mean, Navi have to salvage their economy. They're buying, you know, FAMAS here, so that means it's gonna be tough. They did manage to save a gun. The FAMAS goes down instantly. Man advantage for NIP, and they can take this slow. I would imagine they would want to work back into an A split because they're gonna have a great time going against 2 players.
Yeah, right. Not an amazing showing from him right there. Blinds himself as he goes to peek, and then gets shot in the face. Guarded with a nice one, though, on the cross at the B. Double doors, takes down Freiburg. Alu still trying to control mid because the bomb's into B. Okay, there's a smoke off. I thought he was maybe going to throw that nade for the particle effect to cross the doors, but the smoke came out. Alu still lurking around. Maybe they hear the scope and actually will miss the shot. Guardian cleans him up. So Na'Vi retaking 3v2. Another smoke going out, taking off that headshot box. Sees the barrel through the door, Exist peeks out, he gets 2, and then Forrest takes down Flamey, who's coming in through the window. And just like that, NIP now with a 6th round. That is 6 in a row for them.
Yeah, so just like that, I mean, again, it's a streaky amount of rounds in a row from both teams that we see. NIP coming out in the later rounds, and that means they can adjust better. And I think that's a better sign for them. You know, you can hit them with whatever initial setups you have, but if you're unable to adjust to what NIP throw at you in response to the way that you're playing, that's going to say more about your team than it does about theirs.
Forrest finally going to op one down there, and I believe C's got legged when moving across. And now they're just walking up cat. Zeus can't get those P250 taps to land. And that's full A-site control here. Seized is the closest responder being in CT spawn. Edward and Flamey are moving around into lower B to save or maybe catch some cat exits. But it's going to be another round for NIP.
Yeah, most certainly. And they only spent a little bit of money here just to even out, but and NIP looking dominant all of a sudden.
Forced to find another flame. He does get one person with the deagle. Brings down Alu, but the op is preserved. Freiburg and Forrest will carry him over, so the double op setup still in effect for NIP, and it's maybe it's what's been the problem for Na'Vi to get past. They're going to pull it out themselves now that they got money. Edward and Guardian.
So, you know, there are teams like former Dignitas who'd play like 2-3 and have 2 in B side and be really comfortable defending against even a mid to B with the 2 players in the site. Na'Vi are having trouble keeping 2 players alive in B, so that means that they're always susceptible to this, but the issue is that if NIP at any time now decide to go back for an A split, most likely Na'Vi will be prone to getting taken advantage of by that too. So it's an issue. They want a 2-on-2, but at the same time they want to keep 3 at A. That means that their B players have to have a better setup.
Yeah, well, they did all right that time. A lot of flashes were being dumped in. Actually, both of them hitting each other through the door there, or both legging each other. Both alive, regardless. The auto sniper is actually down. There was an auto sniper for a brief period for NIP.
Yeah, I mean, really, at this point, they just need to maintain the man advantage. They have 5 players. They're going to be less susceptible to an A split, but last time, NIP turned this into a mid-B, and it looks like they want to do something similar one more time. 3 players going to the tunnels, though. Is anyone going to go up mid? Forrest. With the op, we saw Alu in this position to cut off rotators.
Edward's in a really good spot, though. Still some flashes and smokes to use. Edward not going to miss that shot and Exist. Will he get the second one onto Alu? He does. And the third onto Freiburg. And now Forrest is all alone.
I mean, that's how you do it.
It's that shot onto Zeus, though. Going to have another one coming up in the tunnels, but he pulls out the knife to go for a quick peek, and Seized will catch him. Getting 2 kills that round. I believe Seized started it off with the first one. Finds the last also.
Yeah. So they managed to break the curse here, but they are only 2 more rounds left than a half. I mean, economically, they'll probably be okay for the next round, even though they had lost so many, because they managed to at least keep 3 alive. The issue for them, I think, is that they want to have these 2 ops. The adjustment to keep the op at B has made a lot of sense. I mean, he can spend some time at mid here, and as long as he doesn't expect to rush B, they can deal with it, but a couple players out long means they know what's coming now.
Yeah, everyone very blind. Exists stuck in the smoke here. Freiburg now getting smoked off. He's actually going to molly the CT ramp. That'll not really make Seized too uncomfortable. He's the player there. Guardian hits the shot onto Alu. Freiburg gets Flamey. Exist, get right, moving up long. Freiburg trying to come up cap, but only with 1 HP. This Molotov is going to take him down. Easy burn damage there. Get right, spamming close. Pulls out the Glock. Can't get it done. And Edward with a 2K. Guardian picks up the 3. And Na'Vi will hold on to the A site. That's going to push, well, last round of the half, so usually would have been a save, I guess, but going to force it up. And Alu was actually rich. He had almost $9,000.
Yeah, so in the previous 2 rounds that we see Na'Vi won, everybody might be wondering, well, what happened, right? Well, the difference was they had the op at B, and obviously Edward hit his shots. That was the adjustment they needed to make to have 3 at A. So they maintained that setup, and they might have been a little bit stubborn about it at first, but it ended up paying off because coming into this round, they were able to keep 3 at A, or the last round that we just watched, and that's the reason that they were able to win it in such a dominant fashion. Now they come into this half, or this round, looking to win the half. It might not be enough, but T rounds won't be that hard to come by.
Forrest almost brings down Edward through the door. Guardian hits the shot, full blind, pulls the trigger when he goes full white, and a Freiburg falls. So Na'Vi once more with the man advantage as they look to try to get out of this first half, at least with the numeric victory. Dust 2 is pretty even, so 8-7 either way isn't crazy, but it still feels a bit better to be on the winning side.
Sure. I think it's a bit of a moral victory, too.
Yeah, having broken that streak.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many rounds.
Oh, Cat is very exploitable right now. Edward, the only man left here to defend that car, has really low HP.
We'll be able to get off a nade, does about 20 or so damage. Zeus might get lurked on here by Get Right. The bomb goes down, planted for Cat. 2 players already there, and Get Right's controlling their middle. So, Exist going for a, taking a quick fly. I don't even know what to call that. How do you take a quick jog in the air? What's the word for that? Guardian, though, the last one here for Na'Vi, sending Get Right on a trip as well.
Bicycle kick?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Whoa.
Taking a shot to the leg, maybe through the wall there as he's coming up, trying to B-hop his way to Alu, but Alu just takes him out, and he knows he connected with that shot, just pulls out the trusted Glock, finishes him off, and NIP will win the half 8-7.
Get Glocks. They managed to make the most of that half. I mean, they still lost it ultimately, and there was a huge portion in the middle there where they might not have been making adjustments according to, or making good adjustments in general. Like, NIP ended up exploiting their mid because they felt forced to play that 2-3, whereas on some of those rounds it might have been much better for them to have a 2-1-2. Not expecting as much mid and B play, I think, from NIP. For whatever reason, it ended up costing them, and credit to NIP for exploiting them so confidently, like early in the round, like just putting 2 right out mid, knowing that there was going to be no one there. Made a lot of sense.
Now we'll get into the pistol round of that second half. Probably not gonna show us too much of how NIP is gonna hold down once they get rifles here on the CT side, but looking for the pistol. Let's see what they want to do. It looks like 3 towards the B side. They'll put 2 out long. So not bothering about middle or cat whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Not even bothering the spot for a lower push here. So this 2-3, it's answering, to the way that NIP are set up pretty directly.
Alu, the one spotting long here, does have a pit player to help him out, and Alu staying alive, shooting through that sliver. Whoa! Freiburg with a quick one, but Edward delivers one back about just as fast. Looks like Alu will be able to bring down Edward here, and Na'Vi with only 2 people. Alu moving out, strafing, takes down the bomb carrier Zeus, and that's going to leave seized. He's like, well, no one was playing cat. I got into A, but unfortunately my team went long.
Oh, the decoy.
And there was a great crossfire. The decoy. Yep, they generally don't do too much when they're just shooting Glocks, but when you bait it as a flash, that really worked out.
Yeah, that's rough. Good one. Good one. Got him.
Really did.
And here we go. Buy out for NIP. Will there be one to answer back from Na'Vi? And it looks like they will do it. This is something we saw NIP choose not to do in the first half. That was lose a pistol and buy second round.
They go for the pistols, but there's 3 submachine guns on the field here. Get Right opting still with the Bison. Not as popular anymore. But I mean, what, 64 bullets? Can't really argue with that.
No, not at all.
Existed Forest buy a little heavier into the rifles.
Zeus has all the nades, and I guess he wants to show some presence on Cat to move their mid player over towards A and then just smoke him out in CT. Yeah, he's going to throw that down. But they won't fall for it, it seems like.
Get Right is still there in CT. Now they're going to be smoked off towards B, and 4 people are going to move up. Get Right, though, moves out. He was that Bison player and keeping his finger on the trigger there. Exist is actually taken off the back of Plat by Flamey with the Tech 9. So with 3-on-3, and Na'Vi with the the gun advantage, the positional advantage, and HP, everything. They planted the bomb, and they'll take the round. So Na'Vi will pull off the successful force buy on the second round.
More like Flamey, getting all 3 kills on that retake and a 4th one in the round. Wow, that was great. I think he got both entries, or I guess he got one of the entries, but they took that site no problem. Garrett was actually on the other side of the smoke. Zeus tried to fake it by smoking CT off to make it look like a slight mid to B, but then with Garrett sitting on the wrong side of the box, got smoked out. Got a kill for it, but it wasn't enough.
See if Freiburg can land the 1 dig. Doesn't even land a shot at all. Still going to get another chance here, though, unless they nade into the pit. Edward working his way up Cat with that MP7. Trying to work some crossfires like they did on the pistol round, but not going to be rewarded with anything.
Freebird proving to be annoying in the pit here. Actually does finally go down. The bomb left, though, and they'll have to go get it. Last 2 players live in CT spawn.
Edward going to find one on to exist. Now Forrest. Did he just... Yeah, did just kill Edward there, didn't he? Straight bullet? I think so.
Oh.
Maybe it was just on the kill feed for a bit.
Get right, just saved Freebird by killing Edward.
Did the server just alert us of that?
In the chat.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know how it determines these things, but...
It's never right.
So Edward going down there will be pulling out a MAC-10 on round 19, but doesn't really matter because NIP is more or less full saving right now.
Fast out A looks
extra bucks put into this round.
Right. Yeah, Fast out A looks like the answer. They do kill 2 players at the site and probably get the bomb down. Actually, the bomb coming late Cat will have to go through the wall of Freebird, but managed to do so. Have a lead now after winning that eco, putting NIP on a double save, so a very smart buy. And even though it was a risk, it was obviously a risk worth taking. NIP will have to work to equalize once again. Another tight map here. That's us too.
Yeah, seriously. Apparently when either Na'Vi or NIP are just putting so many rounds together, you think they're going to run away with it. Don't bother with that train of thought, because, you know, one of the teams is going to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we've seen on Mirage. It's what we see here on Dust 2, as NIP trailing for the first time in a while.
Yeah,
finally with another gun round.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that streaky play. If NIP, I mean, if Na'Vi are able to put this round on the board, it's going to be another save out for Ninjas, and but they do have the man advantage now, so in a good position to win here. Although Forrest is down to a single point of health.
Might not matter if he really utilizes that flash. There's only 1 player making noise at B. That's seized. The rest are towards mid for Na'Vi.
I think the issue for them is they don't have long control here. The mid-B split is what NIP would do in this situation, or what we saw in those early rounds, and it would have been more successful, but looks like they want to make their presence known up Cat.
They're trying to flash his way in and try to peek the catwalk, realize it's been smoked off for cover. Guardian going to try to work around that. Edward doing the same thing at long. Oh, but he's looking into the pit. Alu, though, takes him down from the corner, and let's see if GetRight can surprise the Guardian from beneath. Or Zeus. Zeus with the rifle, though, might be more likely to look down to elevator. Does just that. We'll take out GetRight. So now... Well, still.
Oh, seized with a lurk. He's going to be offered up a couple kills here. One in the spawn, and he finds it. And Alu, or Forrest is
really low. Zeus will drop to get him, and they bring it right into a 2-on-2 from a 4-on-2. Alu, though, there's a player sticking the bomb.
I don't know.
C's can't do anything about it. No kit as well. C's can't work his way up in time. Is he still going to go for a jumping kill with the AK? Maybe not the gun to jump with.
Oh, and he dies after
actually brings him down after time.
Oh, man, I think Zeus shouldn't have fell off into CT. I mean, getting that kill was nice, but it wasn't necessary because Forrest couldn't defuse. But yeah, I'm not sure what the position he was in as I was spectating Seized, who was on that beautiful flank. But
the first one of the game.
Take it easy, kid.
First one through the door. It looks like GetRight crashed.
Oh, Alu, what a shot.
Out. Unfortunately, it happened mid-round, so not able to pause. They're going to see what they can do regardless. Alu gets another onto Flame. He finds a third now. Can he get a fourth? Who needs teammates, says Alu. Hits Guardian as well. Misses that one onto Seized, but, you know, gonna let his teammate try to do something here. Actually puts Exist in a 1v1, and he's aiming high. Exist peaks low.
Oh my goodness, those were
Alu's
shots.
amazing round is not rewarded, unfortunately. But fortunately, we can pause after the fact, so one round slipping away there, I think, from Nip.
How's that?
What?
The round will get.
I think the ruling is if you want to replay a round, you have to pause in the freeze time.
Yeah,
with a
so it's
known
not gonna,
issue. So not
gonna
even
get
replaying
replayed.
it, you just pause it. Yeah, I don't think there will be a replay. So that's why I think, I mean, even still, like maybe he 1v2s, but with Get Right alive in that situation, I mean, more than likely you think Nip would have had that round. So unfortunate situation, but such is online gaming.
Those are crazy shots.
Still though, Alu, you know, to put that in his frag clip, he'll have a good one.
His frag clip box.
Always got to think of the positives. His YouTube exposure. But yeah, looks like still Get Right dropped. Again, Get Right. He dropped out on the first map and then delayed all of us, even though not really even his fault with Steam.
Last time was just
earlier.
Steam, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And then we had then Zeus had some trouble, so it's definitely gone both ways for these guys. But neck and neck, man. Both maps. Like, it's hard to even say like the strategies for either team aren't working. It's just at certain points, you know, one team's hitting more shots in the round, coming up with the clutch, or failing to get the clutch. So really coming down to aiming. Clearly, Alu is ready to aim after that last round performance.
yeah, certainly. I think the CT setups that NIP have are really good for what Navi are trying to do, like going up cat and splitting A. But we'll see if they can exploit, if they can continue to have good reads on what Navi want to do. Kind of a master, Navi or master of creating the illusion that something is going to happen when it's not going to, and denying rotates, because you know they're working the map so thoroughly all the time.
Yeah, and they should realize that cat is generally, it seems like not too defended by NIP. They opt to put too long. I think Get Right usually is playing in CT spawn, watching out for the mid to B splits. So it's more or less long control and A retake for NIP on the CT side, it seems. And they were able to retake it, obviously, in the, I guess round 20, when they were able to tie back up, get the defuse, have two members live.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't know how long this is going to be. We can once again inform you of what's coming up next. To my knowledge, I don't think it's changed, even with all the delays that we've run into today, that we will see. Let me find my place on this document. Hellraisers versus Virtus Pro coming up next. I believe like the delay kind of worked out to a point where Hellraisers was able to play an ESEA match, so that they'll be able to finish that up by the time this is over. And then even though it's going to be later than originally scheduled, they'll be able to show up and play here in CEVO. And then probably, if it's smooth sailing from here, we might be able to get into North America and CS without any delay, which is good news for all of you viewers, but not good news for me, because I'm pretty sure I'm casting that as well. I gotta find some time to eat somewhere, because I might just pass out.
I'll just email you some Popeyes.
Nice. I actually did just get food delivered, but I can't eat it. And this is most likely going to go to round 30 in overtime, so.
Yes, I can't wait. Get Right actually just joined the server too, so. Okay.
And his money was all good and set, so that's good. So won't have to medic anything there.
He's taking another dumpy.
A dump, yeah. He was, I think, who said that? Was it Freiburg or Forrest? One of the Fs.
Exist.
Or not one of the Fs. One of the X's. Clearly know what I'm talking about, guys.
What game is this?
I don't know. Is this Dota 2? I think it is.
Yeah, they don't have like very much gold.
No, they don't. All the NIP guys actually play Dota 2 at a really high level.
Yeah, I mean, I think Forrest wanted to play Dota 2. Like, he's like, someone asked him if he would play any other game, what would it be? He said Dota 2 would be pretty fun to go pro in.
I don't know if the NIP Dota guys are any good at CSGO. I ran into them briefly at MLG because they were there for the Dota LAN right before we were there for the Season 6 CEVO LAN.
Yeah.
But didn't get to ask. Finally, though, here we go. And I realize now that I am dumb and misspoke. NIP actually did still win that round, huh? I don't know what I was thinking. So it doesn't slip away. Now it all makes sense to my brain. Remember the whole lack of food situation? Brain is like normally a V8. I got like 2 cylinders on right now.
Okay, how did NIP come away with the round and are so poor?
Yeah, they are. I mean, it was still somewhat costly. 3 people died there, right?
Yeah.
So Seized will bring down Freiburg. Forrest has also fallen. Alu's going to be bested by Edward over there outside of the B tunnels.
Get right. Holding this angle here in the elevator actually finds the spray headshot onto Flamey, leaving him and Exist in a 2v4 Exist with a 5-7 and a Dream. Is going to push into upper, find an op. Yeah, that's going to give him a little bit of an edge here, but Get Right, not in the best position to defend against anything, but also in the best position to know from where he's going to have to defend from. So that's tough. Now there's a player on his left, and that's Seized.
God, that even scared me. Yeah, I mean, I expected that was what was going to happen. He was trying to bring down the player crossing into sight, but there was still one posted up on Cat, and Seized is going to drop down and actually get that one as well. 4K on the round for Seized. Wow.
Still very light here, and I'm very confused about this. They invested money into that round.
See some smokes and some P250s, so they definitely got a set strategy coming out on this one. They'll put 3 for long control, 2 over to B, so very similar to their pistol round strat, but this time with some smokes and slightly better pistols. Unfortunately, I think Navi is starting to get a hang of what NIP is doing. And they've got, wow, look at that wall of smoke, dude. The great wall of smokes over there at long. But Navi, like I was going to say, just moving straight up to Cat, where they're going to meet minimal to no resistance. That was cool, though. Did you see how they were boosted on the box of the long platform, peeking over the wall of smokes? Maybe like slightly a bit of a one-way. That was interesting.
Yeah. Seen it before. Now the play here is to obviously keep people as close to the site as possible. That option's out the window. So what you can do is look for a pick, block off the exits, crossfire them, try to grab a gun if possible, not only take people down, and talk about next round, as that's going to be their focus. Now, the score is now 12-11 in favor of Navi. Still very tight, very close game, and from this side of the half, it seems Navi are having a much better time on the T side.
Yeah, 5 of these 8 rounds going their way. Things are looking good. They were, let's see, how many did NIP? They got 6, 7, right? Or they get all 8? Yeah, they got 8 on that terrorist side, winning the half. So only able to get the pistol and 2 rifle rounds here so far. But with another shot for round 24 to keep it neck and neck. Exist. Gonna be the first one to see some action. Immediately traded out, though, by Seized. And Halu definitely just saw players rotating through mid. Didn't even bother to take the shot because it was so low percentage. But I think they know that it is gearing towards B. You can see everyone's leaving that A site. They're pushing up here on Cat. That's Freiburg now coming over. Can't find the kill on the Zeus as well. Alu, though, will get it with the op.
Forrest got spammed down to 13 HP. Yeah, that's actually great for NIP as Get Right has that information on A. Forrest is going to be alive in the site, does find a pick immediately with very low HP and can find the second one. What a sharpshooter.
6 HP versus an op is 100, so it works out for Forrest.
Yeah, especially when any gun you hold is an op.
Yeah, also true. Basically, life on 6 HP isn't very fun, but Forrest still gets it done with those 2 frags. And if he didn't, I mean, Get Right, I think, was in an amazing position to still bring that round home. So they will tie it up here 12-12. Alu going to fast cat his teammate. That's Get Right going up there real quick.
Forced down to 20 again, crossing.
We got the NOA stack here from Freiburg, and whoever's on his head exist. Oh, the molly, though, going to move them right out of that position.
Beautiful.
I mean, Na'Vi had pulled off the NOA in the first half really, really nicely, so I guess they're expecting it, and they know how to shut it down.
Mm-hmm. It makes a lot of sense. Get Right is playing a position where you would most favorably play with an op. I mean, it's just as good with a rifle. You can get damage off. You can get a lot of information. You can drop in a CT if it's not safe, or you can just sit there if you can re-peek with a teammate flashing for you. And we'll take the peek immediately. Actually, peek's pretty wide. A bold move. But the smoke comes out to defend him, and now he can be in a position to be a fast rotate to mid. What Na'Vi are going to do here is in the air, but it looks like Cat might be the answer.
Yeah, generally a little less defended. This time, though, they do have Freiburg actually playing on platform with one guy at long. That's Alu. Probably move over into Game Helper. Maybe even more forward since the smoke has gone down to block off his angle. But Freiburg going to just shoot a whole bunch. The 3 blind terrorists that were moving in there. Zeus finds Alu, but Freiburg delivering here on that A site. And now into a 2-on-2. Exist is the other guy over at A. CT spawn to be exact, and Edward can't quite get the taps to land on Exist, and he'll find the kill. Forced to bring down Seized, and the 2-on-2 retake is successful here. And once again, now we're going to have a lead flip-flop.
Yeah, I mean, this is as tight as it gets, and people are just fighting for economy at this point. Na'Vi do get a bomb plant, though, so that's always going to favor them. I mean, as long as they continue to plant. The issue for them is they need 2 players who need to be dropped, and you know, one of them is an offer. I mean, if they decide to buy, someone is going to be suffering, but I would imagine they do. Oh, they're actually dropping the op, so Flamey is just going to Tech 9 up. And they're going to have to go up against 2 of NIP. The stronger NIP's economy get, the easier it's going to be for them to win CT rounds. So starting off badly, but ending up in a good place.
Only ever to get 2 in a row. Maybe they can break that streak here. Find a 3rd. Na'Vi, though, will move out and take complete long control to put 4 people there to get it. And we do have 1 guy lingering around. That's Flamey in the B tunnels.
I feel like this would have been an issue for them to spend all those nades taking long if they were to not get a kill, except for the fact that Guardian has an op, so he's fully worth escorting into the pit. Because if he can stay alive and they split Cat and they know that no one's long, that forces all the CTs to either be aggressive on Cat and put them in a position to actually have to trade, or to be on the site boxes where they have the worst cover possible. So they'll know immediately once they put the Cat pressure on that they'll have a site to take.
Yeah, so Na'Vi moving up long, obviously not finding any resistance because no one's there watching it. It's all 3 players on Cat, or I think maybe 2 on Cat, 1 CT spawn here for Alu. Let's see if these smokes are going to have to be good, and they're not even going to bother to throw it, so Alu starts things off with 1 kill, gets a 2nd with the help of Freiburg. Exist brings down Zeus, now Guardian takes Exist, and Guardian now by himself with 4 HP, takes another beautiful shot on to Get Right. I don't know, worried about his flanker running away to save here. Just 4 HP. It looks like he'll be going for the save. Bomb was not in his control and was even down a little bit into the cross there at A.
I'm going to just go look at the ground for a second and see if anybody had any smokes.
Good luck, my friend.
I don't
Guardian
see...
will hit another one onto Forest.
I don't see any smokes.
Yeah, so it looks like they were exhausted. I mean, they did have to drop an op. 1 player was on a Tech 9, so I'm guessing the money wasn't quite there to help with the smokes, or they'd already thrown the few they had.
That was the most risky part of doing. I mean, they first of all didn't split A, I guess because they were worried about not having nades to entry up cat. I mean, which I'm not sure were completely necessary. Maybe a smoke for mid, and so, but with no smoke to cross, like that's what I was worried about when they tried to come along with that many smokes. They needed to split A there.
Yeah, I know they threw some at long to start things off.
Oh, this is a serious force right now. Guardian, Glass Cannon, Zeus, Tech 9, no armor, and half armor for two other players. Two smokes and one flash on the board. NIP almost at match point here.
Yeah, really. And, I mean, if they get match points, it's almost an insured round 16 because Navi's going to be broke. Flashing out the left, so Flemmy doesn't have to check it. He'll move in and be able to take down Forrest. As a result, transfers that spray onto Exist, takes him down with the headshot, and they've got the control of the B site. 4 on 3. Navi really with their backs against the wall. Let's see if they can hold on for this round, though. It's going to be vitally important to this match, this series. And just like that, it's into a 2-on-2. Guardian, though, gets one more on Get Right, coming through the window there. Can't land that shot. Both of these guys pinned in tunnels, but Guardian will do it. The trade out there onto Alu, finds a 2K. 2K for Flamey as well, and Navi will stay alive. And that breaks the economy now of NIP. So now it's this time maybe Navi that can turn things around.
Well, I don't care how few kills Flamey has, if how low he is on the scoreboard. He has gone 2 entries in B, multiple rounds that they've won, and they've been crucial. And he did them on the eco. He did them that round right there, where if they had lost, they probably would have lost the map. He's just been lights out when it was super important, like critical entries.
Forrest got tagged crossing over to B, so he's playing in closet there with 18 HP. Exist and Get Right helping out, but there was absolutely no money spent on this round. NIP just sticking into it with their default $1,000 equipment value.
Oh, and a pushing Freebird goes down now. 4 players alive, and I know it's an eco, but you're wanting to win any round at this point, hoping that it's going to be some kind of beat play. Oh, Guardian too quick to react, gets Alu.
Wonder if that was I saw that from Alu's perspective. Wonder if that was
like
no
a
scope.
scope. I don't know.
Flamey gets 3 easy ones there, just the pistols peeking him, and an assist I think with every single one of those kills too. So the most CT rounds strung together in the second half is 3.
Which is amazing. Fun to watch.
Yeah, and that'll tie things up at 14-14. So will we see another overtime here?
Compare the buys right now. We got 2 Pyjamas on the board. For NIP, they are very low on nades. And Navi would be in favor to take this into the late round, and they know how to do it, so I recommend they do. Taking control of the long, having some nades left over means they could possibly split A, but are in a very similar setup to what Navi were throwing at them in the first half, and what was very exploitable. Obviously, that mid and a full B hit. But Get Right already moving back and forth between CT and A.
If Navi win this round, it might not be too hard to find the 16th, because NIP will have absolutely no money. Only on, what, a 3-round bonus here, so they'll have enough for like some pistols armor, which maybe can get it done. And likewise, Navi's economy is not amazing, but it is quite a bit better. Everyone on about 3K right now with their current buys. And this round, they are taking it slow. A whole minute off the clock. No one's even taken a point in damage yet.
Oh, if they decide to split A, I fear Freeburg is just going to have an easy time here. Oh, it's going to actually push through long. This is very risky. You heard one player leaving, and he's going to have a huge flank, but it's going to be a mid to B, so it's still going to come down to the entries, and it's going to be hard for them.
Gets one at mid, though. Takes down Zeus from behind. Edward to get Freiburg, so that's cleaned up. Get Right moves out from CT spawn, pushing through that smoke, and he can't find a kill. Seized is too quick. And now it's up to Exist with this FAMAS trying to hold on. Will bring down Flamey, and they got a nice crossfire on Guardian. He's caught pretty much unaware, and now Edward, the last one alive with only 6 seconds. All the CTs have to do is run away. And that's, well, actually, Edward going to run away as well, not wanting to die after time.
Wow. And just like that, Navi got match point, or NIP got match point once again after going down. I mean, it wasn't as streaky as it was on Mirage, especially in the second half. It was a roller coaster for sure. But in the final second to last round, NIP are once again able to win it.
And we see really only Zeus and Guardian without nades. Everyone a little light, but they still are able to get out the AKs, so they have to make some sacrifices. Guardian is full glass cannon right now, just with an op and no armor. So 30 seconds off the clock. Terrace trying to get that cat control, get mollied off for the time being.
See, the thing is that Na'Vi had a good split. I mean, that wasn't the strat that failed. They got Get Right pushing through the smoke at mid. The flank from Freeberg was really well timed. I mean, he was very brave and smart for doing that. But
oh yeah,
ended up only trading 1-for-1. So the only thing NIP had on their side was information, but ultimately the B hold was really good.
All right, so they initially, Na'Vi had 3 up on cat, 1 watching long, 1 watching mid. Now they've turned it into a full-on A split with 3 perhaps going long. They're getting nervous, though. Edward's like moving back, seeing if anyone is coming in from T-spawn on the flank. I mean, you know players on NIP are going to want to push through when they're not tested. Like, they don't know how much information NIP has. Turns out it's none, because everyone is playing very passive here. Alu, though, almost lining up a triple. Does find the head of Edward. But wow. They're able to storm through, and it's 4-on-2. Flamey and Seized, 18 health combined. Exist going for these jump shots. Try to stop that plant. Obviously gives away where he's coming from. I think does land some shots to that Goose player. No, I guess not. That was Seized who's low. Zeus falls on the ramp now. Goes up once more. Seized will take the head off. Whack-a-mole onto Exist. Now it's Forrest moving in with the Silence USP. No kid here for Forrest. Maybe he's still able to pick one up, and Guardian gets him on the jump over. What do you know, guys? Who would have thought? Another OT. Hopefully this one won't be delayed by an hour. Everyone's still on the server, so I think we'll be good regardless of what's happening with Steam. But moving into OT on the second map.
Amazing. This is such a great matchup today. Both teams playing so well. Everyone having their moments, and Mirage and Dusty going both to OT. Who would have thought? This is just what the players didn't want when they agreed to doing
to actually
best
play.
of 2s.
Yeah, they agreed to best of 2s.
Maximum 2 maps. Hopefully there won't be 2 OTs, you know, in total. And but still.
So to remind everyone, NIP did win the first map. So if they're looking to win the series here, they're going to have to win on Dust 2. If Na'Vi gets it, it's a tie. They both get a point apiece. And points are vitally important here, as you only get 2 for a 2-0 sweep, and both teams get 1 if you tie. And there's only been 4 decisive victories so far in the European division. So,
oh, Guardian letting Forrest up the top there. Flamey takes him down, and a trade happens because the nade does a lot of damage in return. Exist left in the site, but he's facing some players who are pretty low. He could actually have an opportunity to kill them, and now it's 3v3. Edward has a good lurk. Get Right gets the better of him, though, and they have the site open. They can plant the bomb, 2v3.
Yep, bomb going down. Still man disadvantage, and on HP, it's 300 versus 100. But look at that flash. Alu, though, the only one not blind, responds to Zeus's aggression, guns him down, and now it's up to Seized in a 1v3. And the best spot to do it, but not even able to peek. Alu will run up on him and take him down.
Yeah, so I think the good nade damage into upper as they were trying to enter the site made a huge difference there. It's actually able to do, you know, 50 to 150 damage. And a player went down as Forrest was legged by Guardian. And because of those trades, the entry into B wasn't that free. Exist managed to get one as well on a full HP player. And Zeus failed his lurk, though, which was crucial. Get Right got the better of him, jumping up on Cat, even though he had his knife out. So just a little bit too quick on those reflexes was Get Right.
All right, fighting for long control here. Na'Vi once more. They're going to get it. Alu, though, still in a good position here on platform. We'll drop down to lower and work this pop flash. There it goes. Flamey will turn in time. Alu doesn't expose himself too much, but is caught on the way back to elevator. Exist elsewhere finds Zeus. Whoa, Flamey shot in the head from Cat. And that was Get Right delivering those bullets. Puts them in a 4-on-3. Now 2 as Exist finds Guardian. What can Edward do to bring it back? Will he get the player on ramp? Exist. Brought down by C's. C's going to get Forrest as well. And this puts him in a 1-on-1 already finding 2 kills, has the bomb in tow, 50 seconds on the clock. Will he try to walk it over to B, or does he just want to check out CT?
Oh, Freeberg made some noise. Had C's peek him, and C's managed to kill him anyways, in spite of that. 2 rounds already in favor of NIP, and we saw them in the first, on the first map, drop around, or win a round, drop around, win a round, and then take the first OT after winning the first round in the second half. So already have 2. In what was kind of a struggle. Oh, Forrest winning a duel against Guardian.
Haven't seen too many picks in middle. That might even just be the second, at least off the start of the round anyways. On to Guardian, and it's an important one as we get into the last round of the first half of the first OT. On the second map. How descriptive can we get? That's the real question. Get right. Shooting Flamey up from Xbox onto Catwalk, helping him with that jump. Sees, though, moving out into B, finds another one. There's still man disadvantage. That didn't stop them in some rounds on both of these maps. Seized has been the one to step up in these situations almost every single time, win or lose.
Excellent entry so far. And we'll get right. Try to find his way through the smoke. I think he ate kind of a flash there. Wanted to take a peek, and oh, he's gonna do it. Oh no, just slightly.
Yeah,
doesn't want to stay alive.
That smoke.
They have great retake spots. Freeberg in the tunnel. He's actually gonna find a pick right away.
Edward, though, deliver and run right back. Just as quick. Alu, can he get one on the cross? That Zeus very, very low. Gets Alu down to 11, but it's a 2-on-1. Edward, the op, but he can't do it. Get right coming in. And that's NIP with another round win here, taking all 3 in OT. That matches their biggest streak on CT side. They're able to do it here in overtime.
Yeah, that's a dominant half. There's no reason NIP should drop this map. I mean, could they do it? Na'Vi could have a stalwart CT side. I mean, we've seen them win rounds convincingly, but at the same time, if NIP play their game and play it right, they also had a very, very good T side. Some of those rounds from the 4th to the 9th were really dominant, where we saw them exploit the mid to B, exploit this 2-3 setup really, really well. Will we see Na'Vi split up into a 2-1-2 right off the bat, or will we see them use a 3-2? I think it will be a 3-2, but I think NIP were hoping for that as well.
Well, if they get what they hope for, we'll see if they can exploit it here as OT half 2 will start now. The Ninjas in Pyjamas only need 1 round. 19 is the number you're looking for on the scoreboard, and that will mean they get a decisive win against Na'Vi 2-0, taking home all the points.
And look at that, Exist already out mid because they know no one is playing there. Instantly taking advantage of the setup, putting 2 players in the site under a lot of pressure. Guardian, though, on the back.
Seized with the CZ, the seized Z, and he can't pull it out in time, so he's brought down 3-on-3. Get right. Forrest helps him out. Get right, though, does fall, and now with Zeus coming in, they get a 2-on-1. It's all up to Alu with a minute on the clock. The bomb, full Na'Vi control. Bomb is down on plat in the B site. Alu's going to change his angle of attack up here, go out towards middle.
That was some excellent initiative there, as Na'Vi jumped into that retake without hesitation. Caught players on the site. Uncharacteristic of a team that plays really slowly, but Alu, with a smoke and a flash, bomb down in the site, 40 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be a tough one.
Is peeking him, though. Or was. I'm not sure what he... No, yeah, he did go back in. Gives up that aggressive peek. Alu, will he be caught off guard? No, he checks it. No scope to the chest. Ooh. And the headshot through the box from Alu. What a way to end it. Both maps go into OT, but the Ninjas prevail 2-0 up against Na'Vi here.
Oh my god, I have to check my pants.
Yeah, I might have to as well.
I'll be right back, guys.
Which means, joking aside, we got the next match coming up, so I know some of you might want a great post-game on all of these rounds, but we don't have time for it. We're going to go to a quick break here because we've got Hellraisers versus Virtus Pro coming up. Players have been waiting, so when we return from this break, we'll have that second match. You're watching CEVO MLG. We're your casters. Helium, he's Launders. Our Twitters are there, at Heliumbrella, at CS Boxer, so stay tuned. More CSGO action coming up.